Last week, former professional soccer player Brittany Mahomes made a post on Instagram encouraging moms to take care of their pelvic floor after kids to avoid back fractures. As a pelvic floor physio specialized in maternity care, I think it's important to understand what can happen to you if you don't take care of your pelvic floor after birth. Can you actually fracture your back because of pelvic floor problems? That's what we'll cover in today's video. Further to that, if you're pregnant and want to prepare your pelvic floor for a positive birth and an easy recovery, I would love to speak to you directly and help you create a game plan so you can feel confident for this journey ahead of you. That's what I do, and I've helped hundreds of moms have positive birth experiences and smooth postpartum recoveries, so there's no reason why you can't get that too. Click on the link below if you'd like to chat with me. Alright, so let's take a look at the original post that Brittany Mahomes shared on her Instagram last week. She says, "Just your daily reminder, once you have kids, please take care of your pelvic floor. Seriously, from a girl with a fractured back." Okay, first off, as a pelvic floor physio expert working with moms, I just want to say I do appreciate when people, especially celebrities or people who have a platform, raise awareness about maternal pelvic floor health, because I think it's just not a subject that is very talked about. And there are so many mothers out there, I can't count them, who are still suffering with long-term pelvic floor issues from their birth: urine leakage, prolapse, painful sex, pelvic pain, low back pain, hip pain. And for some of these moms, it has just become their new reality. And it makes me so sad because these issues are preventable and fixable with the right support in place. Because Brittany is right in her post, having kids does impact your pelvic floor. For those who might not even know what the pelvic floor is, it's a sling of muscles around your vagina and anus. Just even when you're pregnant, these muscles suddenly have to carry the load of your baby sitting right on top of them. So that's enough for some pregnant mamas to start having symptoms like urine leaks when they sneeze, cough, or run. And then if you give birth vaginally, your baby will actually have to go through your pelvic floor muscles during the pushing stage. Can you imagine the big trauma that these muscles go through? And if you don't do anything to help them recover after the birth, you might start experiencing bladder leakage, prolapse, which is when the bladder, uterus, or rectum falls in the vaginal canal, low back pain, painful sex, and so on. That's unfortunately how women end up 20 years after their kids are born and still having to carry an extra pair of panties in their purse every time they go out, or spending thousands of dollars in incontinence pads because every time they sneeze, cough, or laugh, they're leaking urine, right? So that's how it starts for a lot of them, is from pregnancy and birth. And if you're pregnant watching this, I just want to say I've got tons of stories in mind of clients who had amazing birth experiences and smooth recoveries and were able to return to their sports and activities with no pelvic floor symptoms like urine leaks and prolapse and all the things I just named. I have also had clients who had suffered from very traumatic birth experiences with their first baby and had an amazing birth and recovery for their second. You know what these moms have all in common? They did pelvic floor prevention work during pregnancy and made sure they followed a solid rehab plan after birth. So if you're expecting and you're freaking out about birth and the possible damage that could happen to your pelvic floor, I would love to support you. This is what I do, and I work with women to ensure that they have a trauma-free birth and an easy recovery. Click the link below to tell me more about your current situation and have a chat with me. Now, coming back to Brittany's post, could you break your back from pelvic floor damage after kids? Absolutely not. To fracture your back, there needs to be something else going on, like a trauma or a fall, or in rare cases, it could be caused by osteoporosis, for example, which mostly happen for like older people, a tumor in the back, or other abnormalities in the spine. I don't know the circumstances of Brittany's fracture, but whatever it is, there is no way this could be caused by her pelvic floor. It's like if a soccer player was breaking his ankle and saying, "If you play soccer, please take care of your feet muscles," from a soccer player with a broken ankle. It sounds ridiculous, right? But it's the same thing. Muscles do not prevent fractures. Think about it for a second. Bones are the body parts that require the most trauma and impact in order to break. Bones are badass people. The level of trauma it takes to break a bone is ridiculous. The strength of the muscles and ligaments around a bone have zero impact on whether or not that bone would break. So anyways, all of that to say, even though Brittany Mahomes' post does not really make sense at a scientific level in terms of linking her back fracture to her pelvic floor, I believe it's still awesome that her post made people talk about maternal pelvic health and how important it is to take care of your pelvic floor through the maternity journey. Again, if you're pregnant and you really want to make sure that your pelvic floor is prepared for birth and fully recovers postpartum so it does not affect your day-to-day life, that is what I do, and I would love to speak to you and support you in how you can best approach this process to have the most healthy, happy birthing experience and a full recovery after. There's a link below if you'd like to chat with me so we can make a game plan. Thanks for watching.